Following segment sponsored by Falls Hearing Center.
Well, we are here at Falls Hearing Center in Abingdon to tell you about a very special event. They do it every year. This is the 4th year. It's called the Gift of Hearing. We're here with Lauren Esposito. And Lauren, thanks so much for having us out.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Well, this is kind of that annual time that you do this, and I know it's very special. Tell me a little about it.
So you're right, it's our 4th annual Gift of Hearing event. So we like to get nominations from the community for folks that need help with their hearing but maybe can't afford it or have other areas that they need to allocate their funds to. It's just something that we like to do to be able to give back to a few people in the community each Christmas season.
And I understand people write in and kind of nominate, so you hear a lot of stories.
We do. We get to hear a lot about all sorts of people in the community. We really like to read the stories, find our favorites, and hearing about there's a lot of people who have hearing loss, but a lot of folks that we get to hear about, they have hearing loss, but they're also still trying to give back to the community in different ways. They still want to be involved, and this is something that's almost holding them back from everything that they want to accomplish. So, those are the stories that really stick with us. For instance, last year's winner, he's a part of a band, and they play good old-time country music to nursing homes and churches, different events like that. And with his hearing loss, he struggled to be able to, hear the other band members. So, stories like that really encourage us and, make us want to pick those folks that are still trying to get out there and still trying to better the community and things.
And we know, Lauren, how important it is to have your hearing. If you are suffering from hearing loss, it can have a huge impact on other areas of your life.
Absolutely. There's a study that came out recently that talked about hearing loss as the #1 modifiable risk factor for cognitive decline and dementia. So, of all the things that add to our likelihood to develop dementia, hearing loss is the #1 most effective change that we can make in helping to reduce that risk. People with hearing loss are up to 5 times more likely to develop dementia. And so wearing hearing aids really helps, and treating that hearing loss really helps keep that risk factor lower and giving our brain the best opportunity it has for as long as it has.
And I know hearing aids have come so far. There's so little now.
They really are. They are so much more discreet than they've ever been before. Most people don't know you have them on. They're much more comfortable than they've been before. They're not that big bulky thing that screams in church. They're much more discreet, smarter than they've ever been. There's a lot of great new technology with streaming, changes with Bluetooth that are coming out soon, being able to connect to different auditoriums and airports and public spaces are going to be so much easier to tap into with your hearing aids, and have that sound directly in your ears is something coming down the road.
That's an exciting time for you in this field then.
It is. Yeah. It really is. It's kind of an interesting turn into almost a tech kind of field, something a little more new age compared to what we used to be a little more comfortable with. We thought, hearing aids a little more geriatric, a little older.
Yeah.
But it's really not that way anymore. We're very cutting edge on technology now.
That's exciting. And Lauren, if somebody does want to make a nomination, what's the best way for them to do that?
Absolutely. So the best way to nominate is to send an email to contact@fallshearing.com. And I'm getting all of those emails, and we just compile them together. We're accepting nominations through January 15th, and then we'll be contacting the winners from there.
Wow, what a wonderful gift, the gift of hearing.
It is. Thank you.
Well, Lauren, thanks for taking the time to chat with us today. We'll give everybody some information. If you would like more, you can always check out their website as well. That's fallshearing.com.
The preceding segment sponsored by Falls Hearing Center.